It's my favorite time. We got $50 to make the best CS2 investment possible. Starting off with what's been going on with our major markets. Now we got a lot to break down inside this area, and in my previous video we dived a lot deeper into these previous major capsules, which are obviously your Stockholm, you get your Evil Geniuses Hollow going up, along with your Copenhagen and Shanghai. There's a lot going on inside the major market. We're not going to be focusing in on those specifically because I don't think there's really strong opportunities to buy into those right now to make a profit. The only area right now that I think honestly is going to be of major interest is probably going to be that Austin major. We've got two different areas. We got our souvenir packages and we got our major capsules. Souvenir packages have really not shown me enough to be valuable enough to make an investment. Therefore, we got our major capsules. Now, I think it's a little bit too early to buy into these, but we can definitely speculate on which ones are probably going to be the most in demand. And right now, we're seeing a very interesting divide coming down to the fact that the Contender sticker capsule has twice the amount of stickers as the other two. It's got 16 different teams, which is a huge advantage when we're talking about this, as long as the demand for some of these teams is in a relatively similar situation. Now, obviously, we have a lot of time and the sale just started. It's going to be sticking around for a while, but we're going to be looking in at this data consistently because this is a huge opportunity in my personal opinion. If this Contender sticker capsule goes under invested, it has a strong opportunity as long as that demand doesn't immediately fall off, which is obviously a presumption as well. Overall, the Austin Major has a lot to look at, but not a lot to really invest in just yet if you're playing it smart. Skinland is today's sponsor, and if you're looking to sell your CS2 skins, they are the #1 spot. Now, with Valve's latest update, you have to wait 7 days to go ahead and get your money, but with Skinland, you're going to be able to get the best rate possible with a $10 free bonus on your first trade. Now, don't forget to use code MasterShiny for that bonus, and the best part about this is they are one of the first to bring this back, and they are the most safe option to sell your CS2 skins for cash. They've also got a massive marketplace if you're looking to pick up some CS2 skins as well, significantly cheaper than the Steam market. I sell on Skinland for the best rate, so don't wait. Now, talking about the rare case market, we talked about it previously, but this thing is definitely in a position to be a little bit desired right now if you're looking at just the short term. If you want to look at a 1-year graph for the majority of these cases, we can see very clearly what's going on. We saw a massive amount of growth, and now we're starting to see some very slight pullback. I honestly don't think we're in a position right now where selling your rare cases makes any sense, and honestly right now could be a very strong opportunity to buy into some more rare cases if you don't have that already. That's because right now the interest is just not really for the rare cases, but if we want to look overall, we're still seeing a lot of interest in the game. It's just the way the cycle shifts. Right now the rare cases have shot up so much in price that people have kind of been looking away from them, and honestly that's a very strong opportunity of when is usually one of the cheaper times to get into rare cases, relatively speaking. When we talk about consistent trends inside of CS investing, the rare case market is the most consistent trend we talk about. Obviously we see a shoot up in price, then we see a lower, just slightly decrease in interest, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. I don't think it's a surprise of what we're seeing being that there is maybe a slight pullback, maybe a slight decrease. Overall, does not matter. Right now there is more cases being unboxed than there is being dropped for all of these rare cases nearly all across the board, which means theoretically these are becoming a better asset by the day, and therefore I don't think honestly it's too big of a concern that they're down maybe slightly in price. It actually could be a good thing and beneficial for most people. Now, talking about another area that I'm still really obsessed with at the moment is going to be these filler skins. Now, we consistently talk about assets that are just getting better by the day. These are exactly that, especially when we're talking about our light blue filler skins. Now, we get the blue filler skins, which honestly I'm becoming a little bit more hesitant about just because of everything we're seeing in the game right now. Blue skins are a lot more volatile because they're in the act of dropping, and therefore because we're seeing overall just a decrease in the potential with those right now, it could carry over into the rest of the blue filler skins. Light blue filler skins, on the other hand, are still in a very good position. Now, I want to make it very clear, the supply on these light blue filler skins is astronomically high. These were a collection that were in the game consistently dropping for almost a decade, which is a crazy amount of time, but they are an asset that's getting better by the day, and we're not judging it just by the potential it has right now. We're judging it by the potential it's going to have very soon, going to have moving forward in the future. Even though Valve is definitely not creating as many light blue skins that you could do trade-ups with for these, I still think they're going to be a very valuable asset moving forward. They're always going to be in demand, and right now it's definitely shown that even if they have pulled back a little bit, we can look at the past 6 months, look at a longer term, these are definitely where I want to be. Now, talking about another area that's been completely non-stop, it's going to be the agent market. Now, the agent market is a very interesting one because it's gotten to the point now where honestly inside of this series we can't really make an investment into it. If we want to look at it, the cheapest agents are going to run us about 25% of our budget, and that's for some of the worst shadow web agents. I don't want that. I don't think they're very desirable, and they've only been pushed up because they are just in fact that, agents. Overall, the agent market is one that's a little bit hard because it's not a consumable asset, which is really what I would try to focus in on for this series, especially because we have such a low budget. We don't have the opportunity to take risks and go for a little bit more of an interesting investment. That's what I think agents are, and they've definitely panned out. Let's be completely straightforward. Agents have become one one of the best investments over the past month, especially the majority of them up potentially 50 to 100%. But that's the thing about these unique investments is they go in waves. Right now, the agent market has definitely got it, but it's very possible they could stagnate out along with any other item. It's just with the agents, they're not getting better by the day unless the player count is going up. And with that price point, we're going to have to pass on this series for them. Then breaking down our armory, everything we got here. First up, we've got the M4A1S Solitude coming in. This thing is a huge opportunity if you've got stars to redeem, coming in at 150% ROI. It is double the profit you're going to be getting for your charms, and it blows everything else out of the water in terms of the opportunity. Not what we're going for in this video, but it's definitely going to be one that's probably going to drop down pretty hard in price. Therefore, no reason for us to make an investment, especially not today. Outside of that, I actually think the armory is something I'm going to be focusing a little bit more into for this video and moving forward, just because we know for the next couple of months, we're very unlikely that we're going to be getting some major update that's going to shift up the dynamics. Therefore, things are probably going to be pretty stable, and therefore we could probably be able to skim out a little bit if we find the investments we're looking for and just get a decent price on them. With all that being said, what is the first investment I'm going to be making? It's into the gallery case. Now, the gallery case is currently down about 10 to maybe 15% over the past month, depending on when you grab your points. But the biggest piece about it is it's obviously very stable at that 80-cent price point. Theoretically should not be going below that. And when we look at a price of a buy order at around 86, 87 cents, I think there is a very strong opportunity that I don't expect it to get removed tomorrow, but it's not a case that's going to drop down in price really much further than it is now. And honestly, it's definitely one I want to add to the long-term portfolio. Second investment, you probably should know by now, but we're going to be setting aside some money for Austin. Now, I don't think that making an investment into a specific Austin capsule at this point really makes the most sense, but rather setting aside some money, knowing that we're going to be coming back to this and making sure that then we can use all the data to figure out which capsule is probably going to be the most beneficial position to put ourselves in. I definitely like the contenders being that it's got double the teams, but I'm not going to make an investment blindly just yet. We've got months of this sale and months of data to come, and I would highly suggest you do the same if you're trying to make an Austin investment. Just hold off for a little bit, nothing's going to change. The third one for me is going to be circling back around to those light blue filler skins. I honestly can't see that there's much better of an investment out there than some of these light blues, especially considering they've pulled back a little bit. We've already got some, and it's good to diversify up which skins we got. I really like overall what we're seeing for the light blue filler skins. I think they're in a very good long-term position. Short-term, I don't think anything crazy is going to be happening with them. I think they're going to have a slow growth over a long period of time, but honestly, that's really good, especially for a skin that's on a little bit of a unique path. And then lastly for me, you know, I got to go ahead and pick up some of those rare cases. Now, it was a little bit of a question which one I wanted to go with. The Prism 1 and Prism 2 have dropped down a pretty significant amount that it was hard to pass up, but honestly, I still think the clutch case is my #1 position right now, just because it is cheaper than some of these other rare cases out there. I definitely like it, and I still think it's got a very strong potential. It's definitely not one that's extremely cheap anymore, but I still think it's in a decent position. That's all I got. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.